During an attempt to make peace with his past, Alex Hughes is targeted by a punkish young woman looking to get a ride from him in a diner. As the taciturn man begins to open up and actually enjoy the company of Vivienne Freeman, he's again left in the dark when a freak accident strands him emotionally. In his quest to speak to the young woman's mother, Alex lands in Wawa and encounters Linda, a frank and functional autistic woman who believes in snow cake for her idea of heaven. Welcome to Autism Answers. Our mission is to provide you with informative facts about autism that are easy to digest, as well as help broaden perspective regarding autism. In this video, we'll discuss the movie Snow Cake. With that out of the way, let's get started. Ex-cons who have served time for killing a man are quiet and reserved, but their pensive intensity begs for further examination. Traveling across the country to visit an old friend, Alex is clearly looking to resolve inner demons and perhaps even serve emotional penance for his previous crime. When traveling this long, most people stop at a diner for a little refreshment and respite. Rest isn't exactly what he finds, however, when he meets the alluring, though irritatingly talkative, Vivienne Freeman. In an effort to get a ride, Vivienne tries to coerce the tactic Alex into doing so. Due to icy roads, snow, and reckless drivers, they're involved in a horrific auto accident just as things are looking up between them. Alex is compelled with a heavy heart and laden with guilt to speak with Vivienne's mother. However, he is not prepared for what he finds inside the Freeman house. His confusion and amazement at Linda's perspective on life, perhaps as a result of his own guilt, or perhaps as a result of his own sense of loss, or simply for some reason of an intrigue, motivates Alex to stay at Vivienne's house for a few days and attend her funeral as well as take out the garbage. As a final step in his decision, he meets Maggie, Linda's high-spirited next-door neighbor, who, she says, has an open, lascivious sexual appetite and is nothing more than a hooker. As Linda and Alex play games of Scrabble with words that Linda has made up, such as Deslius or Apis over snow, or simply appreciate life while focusing on nothing, they find that they share an unconventional commonality based on their differences, which results in an unconventional sense of strength and emotional development. The stories of these two women unfold like butterflies emerging from a cocoon, both haunted by the past, frustrated by the present, but accepting of what life has dealt. They see the world from an entirely new perspective. The film, described as insightful, moving, unique, touching, emotionally exhilarating, and respectful, starring Alan Rickman and Sigourney Weaver, is beautifully heartfelt with a tinge of levity. It's not for curiosity one must watch. From the opening shot, it becomes clear that Snow Cake is not just a curiosity, it's a beautiful example of filmmaking and storytelling. Alex Hughes is a complex individual. Although Alan Rickman is best known as Professor Snape, Harry Potter's potion professor, or Hans Gruber in Die Hard, I would not have thought of him as Alex Hughes. In the end, screenwriter Angela Pell succeeded, as it was Rickman who she envisioned as a character the moment her pen hit the paper. What could have been a linear character is given breadth and multi-dimensional texture by Rickman, as well as minimalistic, crisp dialogue. Much of his expressiveness is expressed through his eyes, particularly in the interactions he has with Linda, played by Sigourney Weaver. It is Weaver's vulnerability and strength which belies Linda's autism, which in fact celebrates Linda's emotional insight and intuitive abilities as a perfect complement to Rickman. Incorporating many of the aspects of autism into the character, she provides a gentle levity and sweetness that allows Rickman to respond honestly to the work. She delivers a touching and respectful performance. Rickman himself called Weaver after reading the script and asked her to play Linda after having worked together in Galaxy Quest. Weaver overcame her fear that she would not be able to portray Linda effectively and wanted to bring an honesty to the character. In addition to being guided by screenwriter Pell personally, Weaver also spent time with Ross Blackburn, an autistic woman in England who is highly functioning but cannot read or write. She performs Linda in a mannerism and traits similar to those of Miss Blackburn, resulting in an award-winning performance. Before we continue, we'd like to ask for a few moments of your time. If you want to support us and our mission to spread awareness about autism, please leave a like and click on the subscribe button. This would help us create more engaging content for you. Now moving back to where we left off. But how does it fare when it comes to the portrayal of autism? The seemingly rare portrayal of autistic women on screen is really interesting in Snow Cake. One major flaw in Linda's character is that she displays mostly male characteristics of autism. In preparation for her role in Snow Cake, Sigourney Weaver conducted a lot of research and was actually coached by Ross Blackburn, a woman with autism. The character of Linda is similar to other male characters in other films, except for her endearing eccentricities. Since screenwriter Angela Pell has a son with autism, the script may have been heavily influenced by her experiences as a mother. There's also the issue that Linda is never given any depth by the film. According to critics, the viewers doesn't get a sense of who Linda truly is and what her life has done to make her that way. The film gives no indication of how she has developed as a person over the years as a result of her life. Even though she has a biological daughter, she still behaves like a child in a grown woman's body. She even shows childlike ignorance in terms of sex. She tells Alex that Vivienne used to describe an orgasm to her once. As she put it sounds like an inferior version of what it's like for me when I take snow in my mouth. Through a brief conversation between Alex and Linda's father, the film addresses the issue of Vivienne's conception. The words of Alex, he tells him, "We don't really know how it happened," he then adds, unforgivably, that she might have been forced to give birth. It seems like a bad idea for the film to casually drop that bomb and never actually address it, given the fact that disabled women are more likely to be sexually assaulted in society. One of the most offensive things about the film is that Linda is never allowed to grieve for her daughter. While the movie ostensibly deals with the tragic loss of a child, it focuses on Alex's grief over both Vivienne and his son, even though the movie is ostensibly about facing down the tragedy. There's never any indication of Linda's inner life and grievous process in the film. It's only through her that Alex finds guidance through his own emotional turmoil. It's a common occurrence that exposing a non-disabled protagonist to a disabled person results in some kind of nebulous betterment for the non-disabled protagonist and, by extension, for the presumably non-disabled audience as well. As none of the characters in the film have an arc and the whole film does not have a climax, there's no real resolution because the relationship between Alex and Linda is never explained. So Alex's goodbye does not carry any emotional weight. In the movie, it's revealed extremely late that Alex was in prison due to the fact that he had killed someone. However, this fact was awkwardly handled and easily forgotten throughout the movie because he confronted and accidentally killed the driver who was responsible for his son's death. Hence, the odd little subplot between him and the truck driver is never explained how the events of the film helped him come to peace with his past. The film does, however, provide a good representation of autism in that Linda isn't a savant or overtly intelligent, as is often overstated. Aside from this, Alan Rickman chose not to research autism before filming to give the film a more realistic portrayal of the reactions and frustrations of an outsider encountering a person with autism, adding a layer of realism. The film portrays life with autism quite realistically, gender issues aside. Developing and presenting a film like Snowcake may be easier than walking a tightrope. It is difficult to tell a heartfelt story about someone with an unconventionality such as autism without making it seem over-the-top, mundane, or mockery. Striking that balance, Mark Evans and Amanda Pell have walked that line with precision. It is based on Pell's own experience with her son, who has autism, and a lot of the story and experiences are based on him. The script, written thoughtfully and insightfully by Pell, develops the characters and the relationships with a careful hand, addressing the reactions of others to autistic people firsthand. The script develops the characters and the relationships with a keen eye. We should all be fortunate to know the joys of our own Snowcake, a bittersweet, intimate, and eye-opening experience that celebrates life, acceptance, and love. And that's what we have for you today. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments section down below. If you want more content related to this topic, make sure to check out our channel. Take care. We'll see you in the next video.